Hello everyone, today I am going to give you a brief introduction about Docker and its command. So first of all, without wasting any time, we can start with Docker. So we can start Docker in our virtual machine with this command sudo systemctl start Docker, and the machine will ask you about password. You should have to give the password which you already set, and if you want to see which Docker version we have in our machine, you can check with this command, and you can see here we have Docker version 18.06.1 and API version, and you can see everything. 18.06 is the latest version of Docker. So next is we can start a Docker container in our machine. Let's start sudo docker run busybox echo hello world. So the busybox is a Docker image. Let's start this command. He cannot find busybox image locally, so he can pull that image from Docker Hub, and it takes some time, like few seconds. So we have to wait. So he started pulling from library busybox. The pull is complete. So if we can run this command again, he just start the hello world. He cannot go to the Docker Hub again because we already finished the installation of Docker image busybox. Okay, so next we can start with the Ubuntu container. Here is I will show you how to install Ubuntu containers. We can use sudo docker run IT flag. IT flag is for interactive terminal. And next is my container name. So I already finished the installation because it takes some time. So you can see my prompt is change. So now I am in the Docker container. To make sure this, we can use sudo ps fox. This command is used to show us about the system, about CPU, about memory and the other things. And you can see here is the folder bin/bash, and if you want to see the packages inside the machine, we can use tpkg-l, and you can see here is the packages. So next we can start a small program in our machine, and the program name is figlet. But before that, because it's our new machine, so we need to update our all packages inside the machine. For that we can use apt get update. It's just for you, but I already finished the updation, so it takes some time. Okay, after updating our Ubuntu container, so we can clear the screen, and then we can install figlet apt get install figlet. So we start installing, and then we can see what happened with the figlet. We can use figlet. If any, we can write any word. Hello world. It can show output like this, and if you want to see the list of package, or you want to count the package inside your container, you can just write tpkg/l, and wc is for counting the packages, and list out. You can see here is the 95 packages in our machine. And then if you want to exit from our container, you just simply write exit and press enter, and you are exit from the container, and you can see We are now at our virtual machine. So before that, we saw that we have two different environments. We make a container of Ubuntu. So now I will clear the screen. So let's check some flags of Docker. I will introduce some flags which are very useful when you are working on Docker. So first of all, you can see we have a flag sudo docker ps. This flag show you the containers which are running in our machine, but currently we don't have any container running on our machine. But if you want to see the running and the exited container in our machine, you can just put the a in front of this command and you can see we have containers which are exited now, and there are folder names and the image name and container ID also, and these names are like given by randomly from Docker. So if you want to see the size of Docker machine or Docker containers, you can use docker ps a size. You can see now we have he shows some size about, you can see, but when we are not using containers, the containers not use our CPU or our memory or anything, but when we start containers they can start using the memory and the other resources. And if you want to see the last container which we make, you should write sudo docker ps-l. You can see here is the last container which we made is 2 hours before. Its name Ubuntu, and you can also see the container ID. Okay, so the next thing is Docker Compose. Why we can use Docker Compose and how we can install Docker Compose in our virtual machine, and what's the purpose of Docker Compose. First of all, I would like to share you what is Docker Compose. Docker Compose is a tool for defining and running multi-container Docker application. We use YAML file to configure application services, and we can start and stop all services with a single command, and also we can scale up selected services when it's required. So let me show you how to install Docker in our virtual machine. I can install Docker Compose with this command sudo apt install Docker Compose, and then we can check Docker Compose version. With this command you can see we have a Docker version 1.17. The next step is how to make a Docker Compose file. First of all, we make a directory in our system with this command sudo mkdir. Here is the folder name Docker Compose file. You can check with the list. You can see here we have a Docker Compose file folder. Now we can go inside this folder with cd Docker Compose file. Now we are inside the folder, and we can check with ls no file inside this folder, so we can create Docker Compose file. For that we use this command sudo touch Docker Compose. Here is the file name with extension. And now we can check with ls. Yeah, we have a YAML file in our Docker Compose file folder. Now we can edit this folder with using of pi docker compose yaml. Now you can see we are inside the file and we are ready to write something. Let's suppose we write here, we can run few services, we can write the services here, services colon web service. First of all, we can create an image of EdgeX, and then we have database, image dot redis, and we can use some other database also. Now we can use escape and to and control S for saving this file. Now this command is not available. Okay, so we can just go with this command WQ is for quit and get off from the file. So we can check ls and we can check what we have in our YAML file. We can use this command sudo cat docker compose YAML, and you can see we have few services in our YAML file. So next is we already have a docker compose file in our folder. I copy one docker compose file from EdgeX Foundry, so I will try to run that docker file. So let's see what happens after that. First of all, I will go to the docker compose file folder. Check, you can see here is we have a file with the name of docker compose.yaml. So I will run this file docker compose up with this command, and you can start running, and we have to wait for a few seconds. But after that we can see we have how many services we have in this compose file. You can see sudo docker compose ps. You can see we have all the services, all the services in the compose file, and it's also show the state of the services and also show the port numbers where the services are running. As I show you earlier, we can write few services in docker compose file, but I took this file from EdgeX Foundry, so they already wrote some services in this file. So I will show you what we have in this docker file. You can see we have many services in this file. It's written by EdgeX Foundry. So first of all, I will show you here is we can see the version of this file is 3, and then we have volume services, volume console, and he also mentioned the ports and image and container name. So here is the docker compose file. Now we can see we have docker compose ps. Now we can see we have many services on different ports, so we will try to run one service from our browser with this port number and our IP address, our personal PC IP address where we install this virtual machine. So let's see. Now I will try to run this these services on our browser. First of all, for that you can see here we have the IP address 0.0.0 and the port number. So first of all, we have to know the IP address of our virtual machine. So for that, I write this command if config, and you can see here we have IP address 172.21.01, and if you don't have if config, you can simply install sudo apt get nettools. With the nettools you can get if config, and now if I can go to the browser, I will run this simply 127.21.0.1 and the port number is 8500, and I will see what happens. You can see we have all the console which is designed by EdgeX Foundry in our browser, and you can see here in our terminal this port number 8500 is running on our browser. So these all services written by EdgeX Foundry, and these services in our Docker Compose file.